pretty strong thunderstorm, as you can see. And with all of the lightning that we have, we know that we've got thunderstorms that are staying together. Now, here is the area that's going to be affected. From down around Carthage, Leola, and Ivy up to Sheridan, Arkansas. There's Prague and Crossroads. And the center of concern, the spin, is here over the southern part of this polygon. We'll take you to our wind mode and show you what it looks like currently and tell you where it's going. As we can see, fairly strong area here near Ivy, Arkansas. If you live near Ivy, Arkansas, Ivy to Carthage along Highway 48 and 229, you're going to be affected by this storm. In fact, you're being affected right now. Hopefully you are in your safe place. If not, get to your safe place as soon as you possibly can. Make sure you have something to put over your head. We've talked about this earlier today with this line moving through. We would probably have a few of these embedded possible tornadoes. No confirmation just yet, but a possible tornado here has prompted a tornado warning for Dallas, Grant, and Jefferson counties until 1:15, and there's the area of concern. This is where we're finding the spin within that line, and I think we're going to begin to see more of an uptick here over the next couple of 3 hours. As the line moves to the east, we're going to see more embedded tornadoes develop within that line. Again, this is moving to the northeast. The line is moving east-northeast 50 miles per hour. Again, some of the places that will be affected, Dogwood, you're just to the north of this, but Crossroads up to Sheridan. If it holds, it looks like it might get close to you, Sheridan, as the line moves to the east. And if you want to take it a little further to the east, there's Grapevine, Arkansas. If you live around 167, from Sheridan down to Ferndale, this storm is going to cross over 167 at that juncture, around that and 35. Again, possible tornado here near Ivy, Arkansas, Millerville, 101. You've got Prague at 113, Doylestown at 116, and Hardin at 120. These folks are being affected by this tornado. Nathan, looks like things are beginning to take a little bit of a turn with more of these storms becoming warned tonight.
Tom, people are probably waking up with the tornado warnings in effect and the sirens going off. So, yeah, this is a concern through the rest of the overnight because we do have that line of storms rolling its way through south central Arkansas at this time. Take a look at the radar with the rain, very heavy rainfall. So, again, you're not going to be able to see this even with the lightning around because it's going to be hiding within this band of torrential rain right across Ivy, Leola, and Carthage. It is a Doppler radar indicated tornado, but nonetheless, there certainly was an uptick in rotation with this cell as it's making its way out of Dallas County and moving into Grant County. It will get very close to Sheridan. So Sheridan, if you're watching us, certainly go ahead and take your tornado precautions just in case. We take a look at the winds. There's certainly some rotation where those brighter greens are. And if you don't see a tornado, you can still see some damaging straight line winds of 60, maybe as high as 70 miles per hour. And that can still bring down some trees and cause some minor structural damage. When we take a look at the radar with this line of storms extending right from Pulaski County all the way down into Ouachita County, Bradley County, anybody to the east of that line, you got to pay attention to this line because there's going to be that case where we could see a brief tornado hiding within the rain as it races its way off to the east about 40 to 50 miles per hour. If you're watching us to the west of this line, you're done with the threat of severe weather through the rest of the overnight. But the main concern right now is what's happening into the area right on the border of Dallas County entering into Grant County. Tom, let's go ahead and switch it over here to Storm Track 11.
Let's do that. Let's go to our debris mode if we can, Nathan. We might have a better signature of where this could be occurring. There's Carthage, Arkansas, backing it up into Dallas County to show the rotation. Here it is here, moving now just to the east of Leola, Arkansas. That's where we could find a possible tornado. And there's a lowering there, so it's quite possible it touched ground, maybe briefly, and kicked up some debris. But that is just to the east of you, Leola. And once again, here it comes right there. So not that we're going to confirm it, but there's a pretty good bet that the possible tornado did make it to the ground level. And that is near Leola. You've got the Carthage area moving out of Dallas County into Grant County. If this maintains its current forward speed, it'll be approaching the Sheridan area here in the next 20 to 30 minutes or so. maybe even before that.
Okay, I have got the debris detector on max 1 if you want to take that as well. I'm going to continue to look at some more information.
All right, here it is. I'll just pass along the warning to 1:15 this morning, and that is for Dallas, Grant counties. This is the area of concern. It looks as if we could have some debris near County Road 348 up to Forestry Road. Those are a couple of roads there. Really around 229 as it crosses the county line there from Ivy to Leola. That's where we're finding some possible debris with this. It could be that we had a brief touchdown in this particular tornado warned storm. And they're going to continue with the tornado warning. Grant, Jefferson counties until 1:15. So Dallas is out, but Grant, Jefferson County certainly in as that cell's now lifting to the northeast. Going to get close to you, Sheridan.
That lowering of the CC is definitely right along the beam of radar. So whether or not that's actually the radar picking up the potential, if there is something on the ground which is picking up debris, that is a concern. We have not seen this all night long. So if you're watching us once again in this area, very close to Leola, very close to Ivy, certainly there might have been something that briefly touched the ground, and it still could be on the ground. We don't know that. We have not gotten any confirmation from the National Weather Service to say, yes, this is definitely on the ground, but it is going to get very close to Sheridan. So Sheridan, I need you guys to be in your safe place at this time. You are under a tornado warning. It is Doppler radar indicated, but there is some signs that this may have touched the ground briefly when we take a look at the debris detector. So there's a tornado warning. Once again, I'm going to go ahead and put on the track. This rotation is moving off to the northeast about 50 miles per hour. So it is moving very quickly off to the north and northeast. And here's a timeline for you just to give you perspective. So there you see Sheridan, you got about 10 minutes, give or take, I would say, because this could speed up. But there is a cell that is trying to produce some rotation, and this rotation looks like it has still kind of maintained itself, but might be weakening just a little bit. Let's go back over to Storm Track 11. I'm going to take a look at the rotation.
Let's see if our INROT has a little bit of a, if anything, we're picking up a lot of wind with this. Right there.
And right there, that's, when we see that little bullseye of green, that could have been certainly a very quick touchdown. And you see how fast it happened. I mean, there really wasn't much there.
Within a scan or two, it's already lifted. So that's entirely possible. With that line, and you get these embedded tornadoes. Doesn't last long, but we still have quite a bit of wind there near Leola. And here's Sheridan. Sheridan's not far away. If we have any rotation, it'll be right to your south and southwest Sheridan, moving to the northeast. You're within that polygon. And once again, you're right. Can't really tell for sure, but it looks like there might have been at least a brief touchdown to kick up some debris. Whether we're seeing trees or whatever, that could be a touchdown. So tornado warning continues. 1:15. We've got Grant County and Jefferson County. There's a kind of a dual shot of that.
I just want to take a look at to see if everything's matching up with the debris detector on this computer, along with the winds within the cell, and it's close. So that could certainly be something that was happening at the time. Now we start to lose those brighter colors, so it may have certainly touched down very briefly, very close to Leola, very close to Ivy, but at this time we're starting to lose that indication on the debris detector. Yeah,
but it's getting close to Sheridan as the cell itself within the line moves to the northeast at 45. It's still important for those of you that live upstream in Sheridan to make sure you've got your safe place ready to go. Make sure you've got your family with you. Take your phone with you, and turn up TV if you're listening to us. Write it out with us. This warning is in effect till 1:15, and if we have anything, it's in this general area just to the southwest of Sheridan there in Grant County, moving out of Dallas County into Grant County. This right now looks like it's going to be just to the northeast of the Leola area. Not as impressive as it was a few moments ago, but still, tornado warning is going to stay in effect until 1:15 tonight. And that's what we're going to be dealing with from here on out. The tornado watch is extended till 8 o'clock in the morning. So we'll have to ride this out as a storm system, very slow moving storm system, producing some very heavy rain, flash flooding, and within the line of severe thunderstorms, not only damaging straight line wind, but these upticks of spin that could produce tornadoes, very fast tornadoes that drop down and then spin out. And as the line moves off to the east, there may be a few more. Certainly a lot of wind energy out there by the looks of our wind mode here with the NROT, Nathan. It's a lot of lightning, strong thunderstorm here near the Sheridan area tonight.
That's the one cell we're watching, Tom. That's the one that certainly did produce a bit of rotation very quickly, and it's not maintaining that rotation, and that's just the nature of this type of system. When you have a line of storms with these very brief tornadoes that can come with little to no warning, and then they're gone in the next 5 minutes or so, and then they can spin up once again. But there's definitely a very gusty winds, very close to Grapevine, just to the south of Sheridan. So once again, even if you don't get the tornado, you could still get straight line wind damage of 60 to 70, maybe 75 miles per hour as this line continues to make its way off to the east. Let's go back over to Max now, because I want to let you know who's in the clear and who still has to watch out for the potential of severe weather through the rest of the overnight. So when we take a look at the radar, basically if you are to the west of this line, you are done with the threat of severe weather. So that includes Polk County, Montgomery, Garland, Perry, Yell, Pope, Conway, and up to the north. Saline County, you're done pretty much with the threat of severe weather, almost with the exception of extreme eastern parts of Saline County. Pulaski County, North Pulaski County is done with the threat of severe weather. But if this little bit of rotation sticks around and tries to make its way more to the northeast, I'm going to go ahead and put on a track here just to give you an idea of where it's headed. It's going to be moving into southern parts of Pulaski County and into Lonoke County. So England, you're not under tornado warning, but this cell that has shown rotation is headed in your direction. So just want to give you a heads up. There's the timeline. Redfield around 128. We've got England around 144, Coy 149, and Blakemore around 152. Again, you're not under a tornado warning for those locations outside the box. And here is the warning box. Has not made its way into Pulaski County yet, has not made its way into Lonoke County. Not saying that it will, just want to give you a heads up just in case.
Yeah, one of the things that's going to make this even more challenging, you really can't see it, would be wrapped in rain. You've got an area of rain out ahead of it. So those challenges therein lie. Don't try to go out and find it or chase it. Just let it be and go find your safe place as this line of thunderstorms continues to move to the east. And that tornado warning now is for Grant County. There'll be a little bit of Jefferson County, and if it holds together, it'll clip a part of southern parts of Saline County near East End, Highway 67, and up the road toward the Wrightsville area in southern Pulaski County. Again, that's if it holds. We haven't seen as impressive rotation here over the last few scans, but we know that we had some in Dallas County, and they're talking about it at the National Weather Service that there could have been a brief touchdown of this particular tornado. And right now it's moving to the northeast, getting close to the Sheridan area. Tornado warning continues. They're going to keep it going till 1:15 in the morning. And it looks as if we'll have to ride this out. We'll have more warnings, more than likely, severe thunderstorm warnings and 1 or 2 tornado warnings all night into the early morning hours. And we're going to keep it here to make sure you know what you need to know in terms of information. And there you go. There's the rotation moving out of northern parts of Dallas County, particularly right there just north of Carthage and to the south and west of Ivy. If that, in fact, was a brief touchdown, the National Weather Service will take a look at it.
And we'd like to get your reports too. I mean, if you have experienced any severe winds and things have quieted down, let us know. Or if you've heard from friends or family that have been affected by this cell, let us know. 501-376-1111 is the best way to get in touch with us. Just let us know what's happening in your neighborhood, even if you're not under a severe thunderstorm warning. If it's heavy rain, if you're seeing flash flood issues, we always like to hear from our viewers what's happening in your neighborhood, because the radar can only tell us so much. We love to get ground truth.
If you can, Nathan, why don't you take us out a little bit wider and show what other warnings we have along with that tornado warning with that line moving through central Arkansas. Sure, there's several folks up in about tonight that are keeping a close eye on the weather as we are. There's the box, and there's the tornado warned area, orange and then the red. So this line continues to move to the east, could pack a punch. Winds 60 to 70 miles per hour as the line moves away to the east. There could be enough spin generated within that line to produce a very short-lived tornado, although we're going to keep that one. The Weather Service is keeping that one until 1:15. The other thing we're keeping an eye on is the very heavy rainfall. Flash flooding is a possibility tonight. So this will continue to move to the northeast. Maybe that line moves to the east. If you live over in Jefferson County, the eastern part of Jefferson County near Redfield, you might be in line to receive some strong winds here very shortly. There's Walnut Ridge in Grant County, Cane Creek, and on up the road you've got southern parts of Saline and Pulaski County with this particular tornado warned storm. And Nathan, I'm just not seeing a very impressive amount of rotation with it. If it is, it would be certainly close to the Sheridan area. So if you're in Sheridan, go ahead and take your safe place. Make sure that you're ready to go just in case this thing produces another tornado. Some very impressive winds coming out of this particular cell too.
Yeah, and who's to say that, you know, if we have straight line winds versus a tornado that may produce winds of 75 to 80 miles per hour, you really can't tell the difference other than it's rotating winds. So you've got some nasty winds moving through this parts of Grant County, and that is only about 2,500 feet above the surface. So that could certainly make its way down towards the ground, and the winds are probably whipping quite a bit in that part of Grant County. Do we still have that rotation? Not so much. But let's go back over to Storm Track 11. I've got the rotation tool showing here once again. If there is something happening at this time, and if there's a funnel on the ground, it's going to be very close to Sheridan, if not right over Sheridan, because you have to keep in mind the radar beam's a little bit higher, so this may be off 1 or 2 miles when we take a look at the actual rotation. So Sheridan, you've got the best chance right now of the rotation moving over the city, and it still could produce a brief tornado at any moment. You still have the tornado warning, seeing a little uptick in the green there. So there's certainly some rotation happening within the storm. If this was daytime, you would certainly see the clouds spinning around like a top. There's probably a wall cloud very close to Sheridan, if not probably over the city of Sheridan. And this is moving off to the northeast very quickly, 45 to 50 miles per hour. When we take a look at the winds once again, there's lots of inflow going into this cell, Tom, with those winds howling about 60 to 70 miles per hour. Certainly trying to add a little spin here. And there's a little bit of red, there's a little bit of a couplet very close to Sheridan.
Yeah, so if you live in Sheridan, especially east side, make sure you're in your safe place tonight. We have not had any more reports of anything confirmed here. Haven't really had a confirmation, but we did see where we could have had a touchdown down around Dallas County with this cell. 1:15 is when this is going to expire, roughly 10 minutes away. There's also severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for this same general area. And what you're looking at are the winds. And if we go back to the NROD, we can show you that this is the area of concern. Here's downtown Sheridan. This is where the rotation can be located, and even stronger winds off to the east as that line moves into Jefferson County. But this is where we might find the circulation or the rotation with that thunderstorm. Yellow box indicates a severe thunderstorm warning for strong winds, damaging wind, and you've got the little area here that we're keeping a close eye on for the tornado warning upstream. It looks as if it may move in to southern parts of Pulaski and Saline County. You've got Woodson, East End, Wrightsville, and they may extend it to include England, possibly Humnoak in Lonoke County. But for now, it's Grant County till 1:15. You got about 9 minutes left on this particular storm. We're beginning to see, Nathan, a lot of damage reports come in tonight. We talked about how much rain we're getting. You get a little bit of wind. The ground saturated can blow these trees over. That's certainly a possibility tonight. We've seen a tree has fallen on a car. Hopefully nobody was in the car. That was in Enola in Faulkner County. So although you're not experiencing these types of winds tornadic winds possibly in Faulkner County, getting enough wind and enough rain with flash flooding to create some problems. Again, the line is moving to the east. You can see that we do have some wind here in Jefferson County, getting close to you, Whitehall, not under a tornado warning, but there is a severe thunderstorm warning that does include Pine Bluff and Whitehall, Grapevine, some strong winds, and a little community of faith. But Sheridan here in Jefferson County, we're going to keep a close eye on this cell. Again, tornado warning to 1:15.
And we can go back to Max, and we're just taking a look at the rain part of the radar, but there's definitely a curl right there, very close to Sheridan, when you take a look at what's going on with the actual structure of this system. I wish I could draw it on here, but my telestrator is not really working at the time.
Well, the other thing picking up on, and you would be able to see it anyway because of all the rain, all the heavy rain that's around it, but right in this area, 270 near Highway 46. That's where Nathan is talking about.
And we have been getting reports of some damage around Damascus into Van Buren County.
Right.
There was no warning with anything up that way, but there's so much wind in the atmosphere that if you get one storm that can actually pick up some of that wind from the upper parts of the atmosphere and transfer it down, you can get some damaging wind gusts at 60 to 70 miles per hour. So we're getting some trees down, looks like reports across northern Faulkner County, and also getting into parts of Van Buren County, because Damascus is right on the line there of Faulkner County and also Van Buren County. So this is what we're going to have to contend with, some very gusty winds with this line moving through. And also, even after the storms move out and the rain stops, we still have what's known as pressure gradient winds to deal with. And those could be also on the very gusty side of 40 to 50 miles per hour for the start of your Friday. That could also bring down lots of trees, because the ground is so saturated. Those pine trees that don't really have much of a root system can come crashing down even after the storms are out of the region. But this is still a long night ahead of us. We are still concerned about the potential of severe weather right along this line and to the east of the line. So it really hasn't done much at all tonight or through the last evening hours into Arkansas County, Lincoln County, Deshay, Drew, also into Monroe County. That will be changing as this line continues to make its way off to the east. We still have some wind energy. That means damaging wind gusts will still be a big threat, but also the potential we could have still some embedded tornadoes within this line. And we're going to continue to keep you updated through the overnight. Even after Chief Meteorologist Tom and I will be leaving probably around 2 o'clock, you've got meteorologist Scott Covert and meteorologist Corrales Ortiz to keep you covered until this event is out of the THV 11 viewing area.
Yeah, we're just here to make sure you're safe, that you know what to do just in case. I mean, a lot of people probably have gone to bed getting awakened by their NOAA weather radios or maybe the app on their phone. We still have 5 minutes for this tornado warning, and you can see the spin near Sheridan continues to move to the northeast, whereas the line moves to the east. Again, if you live in Grant County and you live near or north of Sheridan, then you're in the path of what could possibly be a tornado. No confirmation, but we've said it earlier tonight that some of these cells, some of these storms could produce a brief tornado, and we've got some very strong winds now along Highway 270 between Walnut Ridge and Prague, Arkansas. This area lifting to the northeast, so the rotation out to the east of Sheridan. Highway 46, if that highway sounds familiar, and eventually up the road, even though we may not see this extended, Redfield, along 530, 365, you're going to experience some very strong winds here in the next few moments. So just take appropriate measures. Make sure you've got your safe place ready to go and you've got your kit ready. Get the kids up just to be safe. Make sure that they have their shoes and they have a pillow or something to put over their head just in case. The winds with these storms could be as high as 60 to 70 miles per hour, and embedded within that particular line of thunderstorms, we could have a brief tornado. Hey, can we go back to our regular radar mode, Nathan, just to take a look at this line of storms and the rain?
Yeah, I was just scanning the line to see if there's any other little rotations that could sneak up on us. So I don't see anything at this time. And that rotation into Grant County has really started to unwind. It's not as
Not as
concerning
strong.
as what it once was when the tornado warning was first issued. So that's some good news. So I'd be a little surprised if they actually extended the warning farther to the north and northeast. But here is the reflectivity showing very heavy rainfall.
Yeah, and right here, the Weather Service is keeping a close eye on this cell. They may extend the warning. They're getting ready to make a decision on it since we've got 3 minutes and it expires. If you're up this morning, Grant County, Jefferson County, Redfield, this is the cell we're talking about as it moves to the northeast. It's looks like it's beginning to cycle back up a bit, so they're keeping a close eye on that. But you can certainly see there's a little appendage there. Those are things we look for. And then out ahead of it, you've got thunderstorms with heavy rain and a lot of wind. There's just enough of a break here to where this system can spin a little bit more. If you live up the road, if you live in southern Pulaski County, if you live in western Jefferson County, go ahead and take the appropriate measures just in case. They're considering extending that warning, Nathan, a little farther to the north and right there, just to the northeast of Sheridan, the little hanging area, the little appendage. And what we've got going on here in downtown Little Rock right now, some very heavy rainfall. Outside in the weather garden, I'm watching water come in our door, so I know that we've got lots of water, very heavy rain falling here. So if you don't get the wind, you'll get the very heavy rain, and the flash flooding threat continues tonight. We have a flash flood warning in Pulaski County. Look at the time, through 6:20 tomorrow morning, and we're talking several inches of rain, 2, 3, 4 inches of rain. And just to the west, you get back out over western Pulaski, Perry County, you're getting a lot more than that. 4, 5, 6 inches of rain, areas that have seen it all night long. We talked about a warm front. North of the front, it was going to be a flooding threat. South of the warm front, it was going to be the potential for a tornado or some damaging wind. And there you go. There's that polygon once again. We'll keep an eye on it. That warning is to expire here roughly in about a minute and a half. Certainly could see it extended, Nathan. Southern parts of Saline County and Pulaski County. We're awaiting word from the National Weather Service on that cell.
Yeah, I was checking out the really heavy rainfall rates, Tom. I mean, you can see the bullseye are right over Highway 46, and then you get into the Little Rock Metro right along Interstate 530. Very heavy rainfall happening just to the west of Wrightsville at this time. That is going to cause some flash flooding issues if it hangs around, and that certainly has been the case. This has been slow to move out of the region, but things are slowly starting to improve. You're drying out into western parts of Saline County. Once again, a large part of Saline County is done with the threat of severe weather. Benton, Alexander, along Interstate 30, off to the west, you're done. Will they extend this warning into extreme eastern parts of Saline County, maybe East End, southern parts of Pulaski County? We're just waiting on what the National Weather Service decides to do, and it could extend into southwest Lonoke County around England. So those are the areas that have the best chance of watching this cell that has been producing rotation. They may have to extend that tornado warning. When we take a look at the other structure of this line, it's not as significant, but there's definitely, I think, a little more of a supercell structures developing into Jefferson County. It looks like they're starting to break apart a little bit, Tom, through Jefferson County. So we'll have to watch out for those as they make their way off to the northeast. More of just a steady line of very heavy rainfall right through Cleveland County into Fordyce, and then you get into Calhoun counties. But anybody to the east of this line, once again, Drew, Lincoln, Deshay, Arkansas, getting into Chico, Phillips, Monroe, I would even say Prairie counties, just need to be on the lookout for the potential of damaging winds, and also the tornado potential is still there. And more than not, it will be one of these quick spin-ups embedded within the line, unless these start to take off into more of a supercell structure.
Yeah. They're going to let it go. They've let it expire. They're not going to issue another warning on it for now, but they're going to keep a close eye on it, as we will here. Just know that you could have flooding rains tonight, some damaging wind to go along with those flash flood warnings. We're on social media tonight kicking that information out at you. Severe thunderstorm warning continues, but the tornado warning has been allowed to expire. Here at 1:16, we're going to take a break. We're going to go back to network programming, and when the next tornado warning pops on, we'll be back with you.